Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. This is Joshua Martinez, and I'll be your host and your presenter for today's presentation. I want to go ahead and say thank you to each and every one of you for allowing us to be part of your continued education growth. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please be so kind to type in a yes into the questions section box. Just let me know you can hear my voice. That'll let me know that everything's working properly on my end, as well as everything's working properly in your end. Hey, good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Rebecca and Brian, Michael. Uh, Good morning, Selby and Dave and Guy and Janet. Good morning, everyone. The current time is 8:02 a.m. Eastern Time. Today's date is September the 19th, 2017, making today a Tuesday. Welcome to the 545 Indicators Day 2. Now, the purpose of this presentation is very simple. Is to share with you, number one, where to find your charts. Number two, how to download and apply your indicators. Number three, how you can use your indicators to help you generate a return. Yesterday, we went over a lot because simply it was day one. We kind of went over what the Forex market is. We went over the different aspects like lot sizes, investment sizes, and then we went over the flip it. Which we saw the flip it can be utilized in two ways as a counter trend line break indicator, otherwise known as an entry indicator. And then we also discussed how we can turn it into more of a direction indicator. Today we're going to be incorporating the T3 Tilson. We're going to show you how to edit the T3 Tilson and then combine it with the flip it. I do have a list of indicators that we do plan on putting together, so by Friday, day 5, we should have all the indicators working with one another, but because we only have an hour with each other in a day, we can only get to so much. Now, which means within the next 60 minutes, next 1 hour, we're going to be giving you the opportunity to receive a tremendous amount of information. So one of the things which I'm going to do after the risk disclaimer is just make sure that you as an investor and you as an individual are empowered with your resources, because you're more than likely are going to want to watch this recording again. I'm going to show you in just a moment where to find it. Now in front of you is a risk disclaimer. Just means there is risk involved in trading the Forex market. You should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Always keep equity management in mind. Understand that we are not CTAs, which stands for Commodity Trading Advisors. And what that basically means is this. I'm going to show you exactly what to do and how to do it, but one of the things which I can't do is I can't do it for you. You have all the control over your own money, which is a good thing. It just means that you will ultimately have the decision on placing the trade or passing on the trade. My name is Joshua Martinez, and I am Market Traders Institute's Director of Client Success. I've personally taken a $500 US initial deposit investment and been able to turn it into over 39,000 US dollars of profit. I am a published author, international speaker, professional analyst. I've trained tens of thousands of investors from all around the world. I'm a full-time trader known throughout the Forex community as FX Pathfinder. You may have seen me, heard of me, or read about me in the following areas: Your Trading Edge, FX Trader Magazine, Equities.com, Forex Crunch, Executive Trader, as well as TraderPlanet.com. I am the creator of the London Daybreak strategy and the host of the MTI Mastermind program. I am on my 20th month, that's 20th month of consecutive gains, which means in the last 20 months I've received or have been able to obtain month after month after month net PIP profits. I am currently positive 48,800 pips net, and I'm winning over 70% of all my closed positions. So the biggest thing in which many investors are trying to do, and then we're going to jump right into the live market because we have a lot to talk about today. The biggest thing is to be able to learn a life skill to overcome challenges. The biggest thing what many investors plan on using their money for is money for retirement, money for their family, money to improve their lifestyle, money to get out of debt, or even money for rainy days or unexpected events. Now, the big thing in which I teach and I help investors accomplish is results. So that's why many traders come to me. Now, indicators can allow you to obtain your results at a much faster rate, especially if you don't have a lot of time. What I would like to do is go over today's agenda and make sure that everyone in this room is in a position of understanding exactly what we're covering. So today we're going to review our resources, make sure that everyone has access to their 10K Insiders and everyone has access to their free charts. We're going to review day one. We're going to discuss how to use direction indicators. We're going to discuss growth formulas and the most important aspect to trading, which is realistically the equity management side. Basically picking your lot size. So we're going to have some discussions on that. Now, by Friday, everyone should know how the T3 Tilsons work, how the Flippets work, how stochastic RSIs work, how the encapsulation tool works. We're going to be following the formula of success, which is 5 steps to placing a trade: direction, entry, stop, limit, and we have to have fun. And yes, this presentation is being recorded for your review. We're going to review the resources right now. So here is a link in the question section box. If you do not have access to your 10K Insiders, this is what I want to find out first. Type in no, N-O, if you do not have access to your 10K Insiders. Type in no, N-O, if you do not have access to your 10K Insiders Club. This is where you're going to receive all your checklists. This is where you receive all your videos and you access all your recordings. If you don't have access to this, then you're not going to be able to review any of your materials. And so what I need you to do is when you signed up to the 5 for 5 indicators, you are brought to this page. Here is a link in the question section box. What I need you to do is click on that link right now, and I want you to complete steps 2. Now, steps 2 says access the 10K Insiders Club. Log in to create your username and passcode to access the recordings of the 5 live training sessions and instant access to the checklists. Okay? Now, what I need you to do is use the same email address that you signed up for the 5 for 5 with. If you try to use a different email address, our system on our side won't let you create a profile. Does that make sense, everyone? So if you're using a different email address than what you signed up for the 5 for 5 and it's not working, that's the reason why. So make sure you use the same one. I'm going to give you a phone number in just a moment, just in case for those of you that forgot the email address you utilized, you're going to have to contact our product support, and we'll be more than happy to update it on our side, okay? Now, in this aspect, or this, web page, which I just sent you, you will also be provided Smart Trader. Smart Trader is the charting software in which we are utilizing to, let's go to ideas, which we are utilizing for over the next 5 days. And let me go ahead and I got to log into my charts too. So let me log in right now. If you did not download Smart Trader as of yet, you're going to want to complete steps 1. Okay? You're going to want to complete steps 1. Steps 1 will give you access to your online charts. You're just going to create a username and passcode. It'll give you access until October of all the indicators which we're reviewing today. And this doesn't cost anything to you. They're free charts. I think in October there's going to be restrictions on the indicators, but outside of that, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to keep your access to your charting software and the data feed. So complete steps 1 and complete steps 2. So let me go ahead and review your 10K Insiders information. So once you complete steps 2, you'll be brought to this page. If you have questions, give us a call, 407-585-2417. It's right up here at the top. If you have questions, give us a call, 407-585-2417. What is this? Type in me, M-E, if you are brand new to the Forex market. Type in me, M-E, if you're kind of like, Josh, I have no idea what the Forex market is. I'm just kind of here to learn and kind of see how money is made, and I saw indicators, and so I thought that may be a little easier approach. If that's you, then it's going to be your homework to go through. So you want to be a trader season 1. What I want you to do is go through this education. Okay, this is free education. It's literally it'll go over the first steps, creating a formula, how to read a chart, what are Japanese candlesticks. Okay, it goes over drawing trend lines, and it goes over counter trend lines, everything what you need to know to build a strong foundation as a Forex investor. Go ahead and type in a yes, why yes, if you understand that if you, as an investor, are new to trading the Forex market, you're going to want to complete the complete season. Now, these are not very long videos. They're like 5 minutes each. So they're not crazy. Not like 2 hours at a time. So you can knock them out this week. Now, retirement plan. Type in yes, why yes. If you see the Josh's retirement plan, go ahead and click on it. Type in yes if you see that. We will be going through that this week. You're going to want to download that. You have to have Excel. If you don't have Excel, it won't work, but you're going to be able to benefit from kind of understanding the formula side. I can't say your retirement plan because I'm not a CTA, so I wrote Josh's retirement plan because this is the formula in which I use. Hopefully you can benefit from it today. It's something which we will be reviewing today, okay? If not, if we don't get it today, we will be reviewing it tomorrow. Now, here's where it says Josh's, this is the most important aspect, Josh's 5-for-5 indicator workshop. Type in a yes if you see this. This is, you need to have this button. Type in yes if you see Josh's 5-for-5 indicator workshop. Down here you will have the videos and the recordings of our 5-for-5s. So it says day 1, that was yesterday's recording. Right now it's being recorded in regards to day 2. So you're going to see day 1, then day 2, and day 3 as it happens. So if you want to review any of this information, go to your 10K Insiders. We also gave you your link to your Smart Trader. So if you're trying to find your Smart Trader link and you haven't created it, make sure you click on there. If you are part of the previous 5-for-5 where we went over the technical aspect, all of your 5-for-5 checklists should be there. Your previous 5-for-5 workshops will be there. Your monthly giveaways are there. These are like little e-books that we give away just to keep things fresh. We have, if you participated in the Ultimate Market Scanner Workshop, your Scanner Workshop videos are here as well. And then also we have our trading strategies and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, the biggest thing is if you do not have access to your 10K Insiders, which is your customer hub of getting all your information which you could ever ask for, your checklists, your manuals, your videos, your reviews, access to the trade copiers, etc., complete steps 2. Type in yes, why yes, if everyone understands that you have to click on that link and complete steps 2. Okay? And if you have any questions regarding this, here's a phone number, 407-585-2417. Okay, perfect. Now, we're going to get started today utilizing Smart Trader. Type in no, N-O, if you do not have access to smarttrader.com. Type in no, N-O, if you do not have access to smarttrader.com. If you do not have access, you need to create a profile. Okay, it will be up to you to create a profile. The link, all you have to do is complete steps 1. So here's your link again, the question section box. I'm sending it to the whole room. But what you need to do is click on Unlock Free Smart Trader Access. Create a username and passcode. It's free. It's not going to ask you for a credit card. It's not going to ask you for your home address or anything. It's you create a profile so you can have access to these free charts, and so then we can get to work. What I want everyone to do is type in DONE, D-O-N-E, when they have smarttrader.com open up. And if you don't want to create your profile for free charts, that's okay too. Just type in DONE, and so that lets me know that it's time to get started with today's lesson. But that was a review of the resources. If you don't have those resources, it will be a challenge to follow along. And if you're watching this recording at home, you're reviewing this recording, it will be up to you to create your profiles. And because we're giving you the access, but you still have to create your profiles. Okay. Type in done, D-O-N-E. Give everyone just a few moments to get through smarttrader.com, and then we'll get started with the lesson. Okay, so Barbara, I'm going to type anyone who's having the issue with their 10K Insiders Club, 407-585-2417. Just contact our product support. I put that phone number in. Just contact our product support. We'll be more happy to update it on our side. It might have just been, excuse me, it might just be maybe maybe there's a disconnect, or I don't know, I'm just assuming maybe there's a number added in the different signups and they're not matching up. I don't know. So, but we can look into it. Okay. So smarttrader.com is actually a pretty cool place. It's what's called social trading. And social trading just basically means that you have access to a community of traders who are just like you, who are looking to trade. But social trading is where where traders, if they want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can share your trading ideas. So there's a little section up here that just says ideas, and if you don't see it, just click on this little home page up here. And so, for example, if you're in charts, click on this little home page, and then go to your ideas. Now, the ideas is where traders push trading ideas. So if you're kind of wondering, what are other people doing? You can see, well, you know, Inner Circle has Euro US dollar short. Here's a Euro Yen short. Here's Euro NZD short. There's a handful of ideas. You can comment on them. You can read the descriptions of what traders are saying. And one of the things that we like about this, so we'll look at a clean chart. So here is pound CAD bullish reversal. You click on here. So one of the things which is a good idea is to always check someone's work. And so down here at the bottom, when you click on an idea, you're going to see this little play button. If you just press play, it will show you what somebody thought. So here's where I'm going to show you, okay? This was posted by John Peck 6 days ago. So you say, okay, well, I click on it. By the way, this is a live chart, so you can zoom in. Do me a favor, type in yes. If you can see 6 days ago, John Peck said the pound CAD should fall and then bounce and go up. Go and type in yes if you can see that. John Peck said, hey, I think we're going to fall, and then it's going to hit this area, and then it's going to reverse. Well, when this was his image 6 days ago, but if I press play, it will bring me to the live market. Now, this is the live market. You can see John Peck was spot on. The market fell exactly to where he thought it was going to reverse, and then the market went up. Go ahead and type in a yes if you can clearly see that with John Peck, the market fell and then rallied up. So what you can do is you can say, wow, you know, John Peck's actually pretty good. So maybe if I see another one of his ideas, maybe I should listen to it because, you know, he nailed this one. So regardless, if you like someone's analysis, one of the things that you can do is this little download button. It says import ideas to chart. If you left click over that idea, what happens is it automatically copies that idea and it creates a workspace on your tab, and all of John Peck's work that he did is now downloadable. And now you can move everything. It's live and you have his analysis. So let me do that again, okay? So we're going to go to the ideas, and I want you to kind of play around with this. If you look at other people's ideas and you agree with them. So for example, here's Tien. Tien's actually he's actually a really good trader. Tien says, hey, you know, he posted this 2 hours ago. I think the Euro Yen's going to fall. You press play. You can see so far he's pretty right. He gives you his target. He lets you know this is a 76 pip risk. He's looking after 190 pips reward. Download because you like the chart, and now you have his analysis on your charts. So, and everything is functionable. Everything works very, very well. Okay, go ahead and type in Done, D-O-N-E, if you understand that these trading ideas are from real traders who are posting ideas. You can check their work to see if you want to use them, if you don't want to use them. And realistically, it's completely up to you. Okay, let's now go to charts. So what I want everyone to do is go to the charts, click on charts, okay? Click on charts, type in yes, why yes, if you are on your charts. We're going to review your lot sizes, and then we're going to get started with the indicators. So just type in yes when you're on your charts. So lets me know that everyone is on their charts. It's smarttrader.com. You need to create your username and passcode. If you haven't created your profile yet, they're free. You get access to all the indicators. I believe you get access to all the indicators until October 1st or October 2nd, something like that, by the end of this month. So you have this whole month to go through all the indicators, what we're going to be going through today. Okay, now, remember, you have 3 different lot sizes. You have a micro lot, where you invest an average of $20 per trade. 1 pip is equal to 10 cents. Then you have your mini lot. Okay, your mini lot is where you invest an average of $200 per trade, and 1 pip is equal to $1. And then you have the standard lot, which realistically needs to be the end goal of mine for a lot of investors, because this is where you invest $2,000 on average per trade, and 1 pip is equal to an average of $10. Depends on where you live in the world. Sometimes you get a better rate, sometimes you don't. But this is what it is on average across the board. Now, what's neat about this, and tomorrow, I believe tomorrow we go through actually opening up a demo account with a broker and then connecting it to SmartTrader. But what's neat about this is when you decide to buy or when you decide to sell, depends on your investment size, will depend on how much money you make. So for example, if you bought the market on the 14th, September 14th, and for whatever reason, for mechanical purposes, you held on to your trade and you made 529. Up here on the left-hand side, you're going to see range. And the market went up. Within 30 hours, you made 500 pips. So if you traded a micro lot, you made $50. If you traded a mini lot, you made $500. If you traded a standard lot, you made $5,000 within 30 hours. Now, granted, this was a very great move, but it's important that you can see what's possible, okay? Now, what we do on the right-hand side is we measure pips, price interest points, or fluctuations. You can see one country's currency versus another. It just so happens to be the Great British Pound against the Australian at 1.6912, which means for every 1 Great British Pound is equal to 1.69 Australian dollars and vice versa. Let's get into the indicators. A lot of what I'm doing is just a review from yesterday. Also inside your 10K Insiders, if you have no idea what any of that stuff is, go through your foundation lessons. If you have no idea what a pip is, you have no idea your lot sizes, type in yes if you understand that you will be responsible for going through your 10K Insiders. We're getting into indicators right now. Okay. Now, on your charting software, we're going to start from scratch today. And everyone, you can either follow along and do what I'm doing right now, or what you can do is you can just watch, and you can watch the recording and follow along. It's really up to you. The very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to click on this big old plus button on the upper right-hand side of your smarttrader.com charts. So this big old plus button on the upper right-hand side, what this will do is give you the ability to either A, open up a new chart, or B, give you the ability to create a new workspace. If you have saved workspaces, which this will allow you to save your work, you can do that there. But we're going to focus in on a new workspace. So we will left click where it says new workspace. And again, on the upper right-hand side, you see this plus button. And it says, if you hover your mouse, it says add workspace / chart. Left click, don't right click, left click, and click on new workspace. Let's give it a name. We're going to call this Indicator Day 2. and we're going to pull up the, let's just pull up the euro against the JPY. So we're typing EUR, and if you don't know your symbols yet, just type in EUR, and it'll give you the list of all the euro crosses. It's actually quite nice. It's relatively user-friendly. How many of you are stock traders? Type in me, ME, if you're a stock trader. Type in me if you're a stock trader. Well, you're going to have access to different stocks if you want to take a look at some of those. So you may want to play around with these charts. That's actually really neat. These are internet charts. So all your work is saved. It'll work through your Mac, your PCs, your cell phones, your tablets, and they're all synced. So it's actually very, very convenient across the board, especially if you trade multiple markets. So let's pull up the EUR against the JPY. So that's a euro against the Japanese yen. And I'm going to look at a 1 hour chart. Okay, so let's do that again. On the upper right hand side, you see the plus button. Left click over plus button. Left click over new workspace. And you're going to give it a name. I'm going to call this indicator. Day 2. And I'm going to look at the euro against the Japanese yen. So that's the EUR/JPY. And I'm going to look at the 1 hour time frame. I'm going to select add. And when that happens is I now have a workspace. Now I can toggle back and forth. So up here to the top there's these little tabs. I can click on Forex, my Forex tab, and I have my first chart. Because I gave my second workspace a name of indicator day 2, I now have access to my indicator day 2. If I wanted to add another currency, I can go ahead and do so, or add another chart by just clicking on that plus button again. And instead of clicking on new workspace, I'll click on new chart. And then this will give me the ability to add in a new chart. But we're going to stick with the euro against the Japanese yen. Okay, so we're going to follow the foundation of what it takes to be a trader. And at the end of the day, what it takes to be a trader is this. There's 5 steps into placing a great trade. You need to have direction. Direction is the most important aspect. Then you need to have an entry and a stop and a limit. And you have to have fun. Many of your indicators will be used to accomplish 2 things, direction and entry. Type in yes, why yes, you understand that. Many indicators are specifically designed to help you either A, find direction, or B, find your entry. Typically, indicators are terrible at finding exits. Type in, very, very important, type in yes, you understand that. If you're using an indicator to give you your stop or your limit, more than likely it will not work. The reason why is an indicator is what's called it's called lagging. Most indicators are lagging. There is leading analysis and then there's lagging analysis. Let me give you an example. So in front of you, this is the euro yen. A leading analysis would be this hand-drawn trend line. So what do I mean by that? You see how this hand-drawn trend line is leading the market. It's in front of the live market. This is live market. And what you can do with this information is you say to yourself, well, if this market is to fall, there's a good chance that this market is more than likely going to touch this upward trend line and then bounce up. Type in yes, you understand that this is an example of what's called a leading indicator. Leading indicators or leading analysis excuse me, can help you determine exits. But lagging indicators or lagging analysis, they're not a good idea because they lag behind the markets, which we're using this week. If you want to know your technical analysis, I would suggest to review the 5 for 5 technical aspect. The first time we did 5 for 5, like 2 months ago, review that. That was all about technical analysis. Now, today we're going to be focusing in on direction. And yesterday we focused in on entry. Today we're going to focus in on direction. And the indicator of choice, which we're going to be utilizing, is going to be known as the T3 Tilson. Now, after I teach you the T3 Tilson, we're going to bring in the flip it. Excuse me. My apologies. But it's important that you understand what we are trying to accomplish. Now, a indicator, listen to me very carefully, a indicator is designed to identify a pattern and then make it visual for you. An indicator is specifically designed to recognize a pattern in the market and then make it visible for you so you can visually see it. Right now, if you look at your euro yen, you just may say, hey, it looks like a bunch of lines. It may just look like a bunch of candlesticks because you may not be trained. But to a trained investor, what happens is your brain begins to identify patterns. Now, direction is found simply by utilizing hand-drawn trend lines. Hand-drawn trend lines are extremely powerful if you know how to do it properly. We're not here to discuss proper hand-drawn trend lines, but we are here to discuss the aspects of being a Forex investor who wants to win trades utilizing indicators. And so it's important that you understand what a indicator is supposed to do, okay? So in front of you are proper hand-drawn trend lines. And what you're seeing is decision-making aspects. So for example, if the market closes above the broken trend line, you will want to buy the market. Then the market rallies. When the market breaks the upward trend line, you will want to sell the market, and then the market falls. And then when the market breaks the downtrend line, you will want to buy the market. Type in yes if you're starting to see the entry opportunities simply utilizing hand-drawn trend lines. So you would sell the market in the sell zone, then you'd buy the market in the buy zone, you'd sell the market in the sell zone, buy the market in the buy zone, sell the market in the sell zone, buy the market in the buy zone, okay? So now, granted, this is assuming, but this would have given you 200 pips of opportunity on the way down. This would have given you 240 pips of opportunity on the way up. This would have given you 260 pips of opportunity on the way down, and so on and so forth. Now, a indicator, what we're going to do with an indicator is we're going to try to mimic, and we're going to do our very, very best to match up very specific areas. These. We're trying to match up where the market U-turns, specifically right there. One. Okay. We're going to copy. It doesn't let me paste. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because your job as an investor would be to buy or sell these areas. We're going to bring in an automated trend line to match up this price point. Type in yes if this is making a little bit of sense. Okay. Now, in Smart Trader, and for those of you who are those of you who just joined us, what you missed is we reviewed our next steps. Here's a link in the question section box. If you don't have access to your free charts, click on that link, complete steps 1. Also complete steps 2 to get access to your 10K Insiders. Very simple, very straightforward. You just need to create your profile to get your access, okay? Now, to access your indicators on your charting software, we're going to do a couple of things, okay? On your left-hand side, make it a little easier for us to see, but on your left-hand side, I want you to bring your mouse to where, see the big capital A and the little a? See the big capital A, little a? Right underneath that button, you're going to see this like little bars, and it looks like a little mountaintop. If you hover your mouse over there, it says Add Indicators. Type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you have left-clicked over this button, and this is the page that shows up. So I want everyone to do that right now. On your left-hand side, underneath your big A, little a, I want you to click on that Add Indicator tab, type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you've left click, and this is on your page. Okay? Now, I would like to make sure that you, and one more time everyone, on your left-hand side of your charts, you're going to see this little bar. It says Add Indicators. Underneath your big A, little a, underneath there, left click. Don't right click, left click. Now, what I would like to do is share with you and show you how to add, delete, and edit an indicator. Now, what you will have access to is like 100 plus separate indicators. And you can scroll on down, and more than likely for those of you in this room who are very seasoned, you're going to see some really great indicators like fractals, you're going to see moving averages, you're going to see support and resistance, you're going to see your MACDs, histograms, you're going to see your alligators, your parabolic SARs, your pivots, you're going to see prime numbers, etc. And these are all available, your stochastic RSIs, which we're reviewing, your T3 Tilsons, and so on and so forth, okay? Your trend finders, everything is available. Now, it's a really, really nice list. Listen to me. Each of these indicators are specifically designed to duplicate a pattern in the market. Type in yes if you understand that. Each of these indicators are specifically designed to duplicate a pattern in the market. Each one will do something a little different. Now, let me give you an example that I gave yesterday. If you're trying to dig a hole, I would give you a shovel and say, use this tool. It will make your life easy. So you use a shovel and you dig a hole. Now, what's the tools designed for? If I give you a rake and I say, go dig a hole, you're going to say, well, this is going to really suck. Well, yeah, because a rake is designed for raking leaves. If I gave you a shovel and said, now go rake leaves, you're going to say, this is going to be miserable. So it's important that you understand the function of what an indicator is designed to do. Because if you have an indicator and you are using it for the wrong purpose, it could possibly get the job done, but it will be a very difficult task. Type in yes if that makes sense. It will be as if you're using a shovel to rake leaves, or it will be as if you're using a rake to dig a hole. You can get the job done, but it's really going to suck. Okay, so make sure you understand the purpose of your indicators. Now, you can play around with all these indicators. Now, what I want to do right now is just teach you how to add and how to delete an indicator. So once again, to get to this list, for those who just joined us, on your upper left-hand side of your charting software, you're going to see these little mountains underneath capital A and little a. Left click over, add indicators, okay? And it's very simple. All you have to do is if you want to add an indicator, is you just left click over the plus button. Left click over. What will happen is your indicator will automatically, if you exit, will be displayed on your charts. Now, it'll either be displayed on the bottom or to be displayed on the top. It just so happens that this particular indicator is displayed on the bottom. If you would like to delete an indicator, on the upper left-hand side of where you see the indicator, it's either going to be on the bottom left or it's going to be on the top left. You're going to see the X button. Just click on the X button and it's gone. So once again, you can go to your Add Indicator section, click on whatever you want to add, and then if you want to take it off, delete it. Type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you've exercised this, this function. You can add in whatever you want. You want to get crazy with it? Get crazy with it. Add in everything. And it's kind of like, holy smokes. Go find your indicator, and if you don't want it, delete it. You don't want it, press the X button. Press the X button. It's very straightforward. It's important that you understand how to add and how to delete. So type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you've added and deleted. Okay. I want you to play around with your indicators over this week since you have access to everything, and you can begin to see what you want and what you don't want. So this way, if you want to kind of check everything out, like chandelier stops is pretty good. You can add chandelier stops and you say, wow, you know, chandelier stops is green and red. Actually, looks really, really good. Chandelier stops is a very, very popular way of finding direction. It's very similar to the functions of flip it. Basically, when you see green, you buy. You see red, you sell. You see green, you buy. You see red, you sell. It's a great entry strategy. You can manipulate the settings. And when you manipulate the settings, you can smooth these out and use it for something different. Type in a yes if you can see that green to buy, red to sell, green to buy, red to sell. This is actually pretty decent. Now, one of the tips and tricks of being a trader, especially with indicators, is the more you trade, typically, the more you trade, typically with indicators, the more directional changes, the worse the results. So if you're consistently buying and then selling, then buying and then selling, then buying and selling, and then buying and selling, you probably have yourself a really crappy performance. Type in yes, if that makes sense. A lot of it has to do with trends will push up or trends will push down for a period of time. So trends will fall, trends will rally, trends will fall, trends will rally. So you really would like to stay focused in on buying on the way up and selling on the way down, and buying on the way up and selling on the way down. So what I'm going to be teaching you throughout these 5 days is how to make sure you're not using crappy indicators. Okay. Now, and if you don't want this, you delete this. Okay, so does everyone get a little more comfortable with playing around with their indicators? We're now going to bring in the T3 Tilson, which is designed to help us find direction. Okay, so on the upper left-hand side where you see the add indicators, upper left-hand side where you see add indicators, go back to there. And there's two things which you can do. Your indicators are labeled in an alphabetical order. So we're going to be utilizing what's called a T3 Tilson. And make sure everyone understands what that is. It's called a T as in Thomas, the number 3 dash Tilson. T as in Thomas, 3 dash Tilson. T3 Tilson, okay? And you can either A, scroll on down until you get to the T's and find T3 Tilson and add it. And which we can do, and there it is, T3 Tilson. Sometimes there's a dash, sometimes there's not a dash. On Smart Trader, there's not a dash, but if you go to other charting software, you will see dashes. And so it's not a make or break, just understand that. Okay, it's T3 Tilson. Now, if you want that, add T3 Tilson. Another way to do this would just be go to your upper left-hand side, add indicator, and in your search tab, just type in T. And they will show you everything that has T in it. Then you can add the 3. And they will say T3 Tilson. Click on T3 Tilson, add it. So let's just say by chance you look at your T3 Tilson and you go, oops, I've added a bunch of T3 Tilsons. Now you can strategically do that, and we can manipulate each T3 Tilson to do something different. But for today's exercise, we're not doing that. So if you accidentally added more, just delete it. Delete until there's only one. Type in done, D-O-N-E, when you have your T3 Tilson on your charts. So again, upper left-hand side, go to add indicators. Go to and the T's, T as in Thomas, T3 Tilson, add. Type in done, D-O-N-E, when T3 Tilson is on your upper left-hand side and you see this little line. Let me know, give everyone just a few moments to let me know that we're on the same page. Then we're going to edit and we're going to manipulate this line to do what we want it to do. Now, a couple things in which I like to do is, number one, is I like to make the line a little bit more transparent. Here's the reason why. When you zoom out, it can become a little difficult to, or a little challenging to track the line because it's not very apparent. So one of the things what I like to do is begin to make the line thicker. So I'm going to bring my mouse to the upper left-hand side, and I'm going to left-click over T3 Tilson. Now, when I left-click over T3 Tilson, it's going to give me an option to show parameters, show markers, so on and so forth, or delete it. I want you to click on Edit. So type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you brought your mouse over the T3 Tilson, and it's going to show your pointer when you hover it over. See how the mouse changes the pointer? Click on Edit, and I want you to be on this page. Type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you've done this. Bring your mouse over here, T3 Tilson, select on left click over Edit, and then type in Done, D-O-N-E, when it's there. Now, select on Edit. Here is where we can change the guts and we can manipulate the lines. You will follow the same process with any indicator that you play around with, okay? Now, what I want to do first is just make the line thicker. So again, you bring your mouse over to T3 Tilson, you hover your mouse till it has a pointer, left click, select on Edit, and you see where it says Main Series? Change that to 3, and then just select Save Changes. Yes, this webinar is being recorded. It will be made available in your 10K Insiders. Left click over Save Changes. Notice how the line is thicker. And again, bring your mouse over to T3 Tilson, left click, select on Edit, and then go to Main Series, change it to 3, select Save Changes, type in Done, D-O-N-E, when you've done that. What you have done is you've now just made your line thicker. So when you zoom out, it's very apparent. So you want your line to be easier to see, because when we manipulate this or make a change to this, what's going to happen is you and myself need to be able to visually see the effects. And if you're looking at something that's very, very thin, it can become a challenge to look at or to find progression with your edits. Now, the T3 Tilson, as it sits right now, is very, very terrible. And so you need to understand what it is actually doing. And so when we go back to our T3 Tilson, bring our mouse to where it shows a pointer, left click, go to Edit. When you see this, you see where it says length? Type in yes if you see where it says length. Type in yes if you see length. Length is giving you the number, whatever this number is, that is the number of candles in which the formula is following. So, for example, let's just pretend that we have an angle. Let me do this. We go to my lines. Let's just pretend, and we'll make this 30, that here's a candlestick, here's a candlestick, there's a candlestick, hypothetically speaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just pretend that these are 5 candlesticks. I have my T3 Tilson, as of right now, length says 5. What that means is it's going to pull the average line or the average angle of your last 5 candlesticks. Now, when or if this candlestick moves and does this, it will change the angle slightly because you're pulling the angle of your last 5 candlesticks. Type in yes if this is making a little bit of sense. So if by chance your 5 candlesticks has a very aggressive push, then your T3 Tilson angle will also become very aggressive, like so, because you programmed it that way. Well, a lot of times that is a very inappropriate way of using your T3 Tilson because 5 candlesticks is just not enough. You can catch the breakouts. You can see it works there, but most of the time the angles will punch through the candlesticks. Now, it's very hard to get it perfect, but we can get close. So one of the things in which you're going to want to do is just add more bars in that length. So bring your mouse back over to T3 Tilson. We'll select on Edit. And for length, let's change that from 5 to 50, 50. Now what it's going to do is going to say, hey, we're going to pull the length to an average of 50. And so what's going to happen with your T3 Tilson, what you're going to see in just a moment, again, you bring your mouse to the T3 Tilson, left click, select Edit, and length, go to 50. When I press save, watch how my T3 Tilson is going to jump away from the charts. 3, 2, 1, save. Type in yes if you can see the angle has now changed. Okay, so what you're going to do is zoom out and you're going to ask yourself the simple question, which is, if I were to buy the market when it is above the red line, could I have made money? If I would have sold the market when it was below the red line, could I have made money? If the answer is yes, you have yourself something pretty good. If the answer is no, then it's not going to work. But if you say, well, what if this section was smoother? What if this section did not punch through these lines? Could this become better? And that is where the manipulation of the T3 Tilson comes into play. Now, when you use indicators, you're going to be asking yourself that question, and it's not uncommon if you need to edit or alter your indicators on a weekly basis because you're matching it up with current market conditions. Let's just see what happens if we go to edit and we say, well, instead of 50, let's go 150. 3, 2, 1, save changes. Now to zoom in and zoom out, down here at the bottom, there's plus buttons and minus buttons. If you minus, you can zoom out. If you do plus, you can zoom in. On my mouse, I have a scroll, a zoom scroll, where I just use my finger to zoom in and zoom out. It's actually quite nice. Okay, so here's my question. Is 150 a little better? I think you catch bigger runs to where if when the candles are above, you catch a larger run. So for example, this push here would have given you 700 pips. You got a little bit of a sell here, which is pretty decent, but you got chopped up there, but it's getting better. So it's similar. Craig says, how is this different from a moving average? Well, it's similar but different. Each is coded differently on how to react to the markets. So a lot of your indicators will be similar. It's just there's a lot of very smart individuals out there. So for example, if you go to your indicators tab, many of these indicators will do very similar things. But what happens is a very, very smart trader or programmer will say, I like this, but I want to make my tweaks to it. They make their tweaks to it, and then they put their name behind it, and then, which means it's similar, but it's different. It's almost like you have a green tomato and then a red tomato. They're the same, but different. You have a car that's a Honda, and then you have a car that's a Mercedes. They're both cars, but they're different quality. So they're similar but different. Great question, by the way. Okay, so let's play around with this a little bit more, and let's go to 200. And you will get to a point into where you say to yourself, well, this is as best as I can get it. Now here comes another way of viewing, or another way of altering the markets. And that is what's called changing the factor value. Now the factor value is going to push this up or push this down. Let me give you an example. If I go to T3 Tilson, left click and go to edit, and I go to factor value and I change the 2, save changes, type in a yes, if you can see that this just gets like crazy. Type in a yes, if you can see my line just gets crazy. If I go to edit and I go to factor value 0.4, go to save, then it becomes a little smoother. So the question is, well, how do you program an indicator? Well, a couple of things that you're trying to do. Number one, you want your trend line to either A, reverse the market, or B, U-turn. So basically what you're trying to do is when the market breaks through your T3 Tilson, you want it to completely reverse. Or when it touches your T3 Tilson, you want it to U-turn. What you're trying your very, very best to do is you're trying your very, very best to find that price point for that particular currency. And a lot of it has to do with you just playing around with the numbers until it's visually doing everything what you want it to do. I think this is pretty spectacular. Go ahead and type in a yes if you would agree that this is pretty darn amazing if you think about it. You would have bought the market down here, it held as support, U-turned, pushed all the way up. You would have sold the market when it U-turned bearish, it held at resistance, which pushed the market back down. Then the market's back in the buy zone. You would have bought the market. Then it held as support. You would have bought it there. You could have bought it there. And now here's the push. This is actually really, really good. Let me do this. I'm going to give you the settings so that you can copy this if you want. Upper left-hand side, bring my mouse over the T3 Tilson. Select Edit. I have length 200, factor value 0.1. Type in done, D-O-N-E, when you have that copied down. Length is 200, factor value is 0.1. Length is 200, factor value is 0.1. Length is 200, factor value is 0.1. Give everyone just a few moments, and now we're going to bring in the flip it. Excuse me. Okay. Now, what your T3 Tilson is doing is your T3 Tilson is doing the job of direction. Type in yes if you understand that your T3 Tilson is dividing the market into buy zone, sell zone, so it's giving you direction. Excuse me. Now, what we're going to bring in is the flip it, in which we talked about yesterday. And your flip it is going to help us with our entry. So now that we have direction, our flip it will give us entry. Because of the time, we'll talk about stops and limits tomorrow, but we can get the entry done today, okay? So let me go ahead and delete all. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in the flip it. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to bring our mouse over to the indicator section. So everybody do this with me, okay? Everyone do this with me. Where you underneath your capital A and little a, go back to your add indicators. Everyone type in done when you have the screen back up. Type in done when you have your indicators back up. So upper left hand side, it says add indicators. Click on there. Type in done when you have this open. Okay. I want you to find flip it with an F. Flip it with an F. So you can scroll down till you find F's. Okay. And I want F-L-I-P. I-T, flip it, like someone's flipping you the bird. Flip it, okay? But don't flip me the bird, okay? But flip it. F-L-I-P-I-T. Left click over flip it and add it. Type in done when you've added the flip it to your charts. Type in done when you've added the flip it to your charts. Okay? Perfect. Now, you have two little red lines. We're now going to edit the flip it, and we're going to color code it the way that we want. So we're going to left click over flip it, select edit, and we're going to have the short series to be green. So you have period, pips, time frame, main series, short series. Change your short series to green. Save the changes. Upward movement will show green. Downward movement will show red. Let's make it a little thicker. Go back to flip it, edit. Main series, change that to 3. Short series, change it to 3. So you have main series 3 in red, short series 3 in green. The period will stay the same of 14 for now. Select Save Changes, and you're done. Okay. Now, zoom out. Type in a yes if you can see that when the market is above, you're moving your T3 Tilson, which is red, and it's green, it is a nice area to begin to buy the market. And when it's below and it's red, it is a nice area to sell the market. Now let me give you an example. We're going to zoom in and show you the most recent movement, okay? So the market is above your T3 Tilson, and you got a green signal. So you would buy the market. This is where you enter in buying. Now, pop quiz. Indicators are used for direction and entry, yes? Indicators are used for direction and entry, yes? We do not use indicators for stops and limits, right? Why? Because they are lagging. They are lagging. Stops and limits, they are lagging. Okay? The indicators are lagging. So we're going to strategically use our own stops and our own limits, which I'm going to be teaching you tomorrow, but we're going to be using the indicators for direction and entry. Your T3 Tilson is designed for direction. Your flip it is designed for entry. Whenever you see green, okay, whenever you see green, that is where you're going to buy the market. Okay? Whenever you see green, that is when you're going to buy the market. So you see red, it means the market's in a pullback. If we're green and above, let's see. See how it's green? See how it just turned green there? You're going to buy the market. That will be your entry. Okay? That's not the exit. That's the entry. See how it's green? You're going to buy the market. Okay? You see how you're focusing in on only buying the market in the buy zone? And there's live market. So in your latest run, you've been provided 3 opportunities with a total push so far about 400 pips. So you have 1 entry, 2 entries, 3 entries to help or assist you on generating 400 pips. Type in yes if you can see that. Now if you trade $1 a pip, that's 3 opportunities to help you capture bits and pieces of this $400 move. If you're a standard lot investor, it can help bits and pieces with a $4,000 US move, okay? So this is a 400 pip move since September the 10th. Now, if you just judge this, you can say, hey, if I would have bought above in green, could I have generated profits? If I would have sold when it's below in red, could I have generated profits? Now, this is where the manipulation of your strategy comes in, to where you need to ask yourself the question of, am I satisfied? Because you can make the color changes more frequent or less frequent. How do you do that? Go to your flip it, select edit, and go to periods. Change your periods to 3. Watch what happens to the lines. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and type in yes if you can see that the color changes very, very frequent. So now you're getting a lot of entries. There's a buy, there's a buy, there's a buy. Who would do this? Day traders, scalpers. Who would hate this? Swing traders. Look at all these entries along the way. So you've been able to add entries along the way. Now you may say, well, I'm more of a swing trader, so I don't really like entering in a whole lot. Okay, well, let's go to flip it, edit, change periods, change that to 30. Save changes. Go ahead and type in yes. If you can see, when we change it to 30, it relaxes the lines a little bit more. You can change it again. Go flip it, edit, change it to 50. Look how it relaxes the lines even more. So you have less trades, but the trades are longer. So everybody see that? You have less entries, but the trades become longer. And what you begin to do with indicators is you begin to alter the indicator to help you accomplish the return. Go to flip it. I like to flip it on a 14. So periods 14, save changes. Because you have just enough trades. You're not getting trades every hour, but you're getting like 2 or 3 trades a day, which, I like that opportunity. 2 or 3 trades a day, it's actually quite nice. Or sorry, 2 or 3 trades a week. Okay. Did you learn anything today? Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything? Biggest takeaways for recaps, okay? Number 1, this week you're learning T3 Tilsons, flip it, stochastic RSIs, and encapsulations. You're going to have 5 steps to placing a trade: direction, entry, stops, limits. Okay, and you got to have fun. Indicators will help you find direction and entry. Do not make the mistake and use indicators for stops and limits. We showed that to you yesterday, and it was not profitable at all. Use indicators for direction and entry, but assign an indicator for a job. Use an indicator for direction only, and then use an indicator for entry only. Do not use an indicator for direction, and then another indicator for direction, and then another indicator for direction. Otherwise, you're going to have conflicting information. You have to assign the roles. So, for example, I give you a shovel for the role of digging a hole. I give you a rake for the role of raking. Do not use the rake to dig a hole. Do not use the shovel to rake the yard. Does that make sense? Okay, now the end goal in mind is progression. And let me go ahead and bring you to my calculator, which I'm going to be showing you tomorrow, Excel. Now, in front of you, this is the end goal in mind, okay? The end goal in mind is to be able to be provided returns. Type in me, M-E, if you'd be happy making $40,000 US extra a year through trading, an extra $3,500 to $4,000 a month through trading. Type in me if you'd be like, hey, I want to make $100,000 to $200,000 a year trading. It doesn't matter what your goal is, what you're trying to obtain on a monthly or yearly basis. You need to have a plan. And you need to have a very structured growth avenue to get there. And if you don't have a plan to get there, trading or growing your money can be very challenging, because it's a nice thought to come into trading and say, I'm going to make as much as I possibly can make every week and every month. But you have to have a plan, some checks and balances, so that it can help you with progression. I wanted to talk about equity management lot sizes today, but that's going to have to hold off until tomorrow because of the time. But I wanted to show you what's possible. This is my retirement plan, which is available inside of your 10K Insiders. You're going to see Josh's retirement plan. It's your second tab. If you haven't created your 10K Insiders membership, here is your link. Click and complete steps 2. But when you download the Josh's retirement plan, it's an Excel spreadsheet, and we walk you through how to fill this out. I think this is very important because I utilize this and look at this every single day. It keeps me tracked and focused. On the right, on what you're looking at is a month-by-month progression. Month 1, you have your account size, what you're trying to make, how much money that is. Are you going to add money in? How much is your growth? And then it compounds. Right-hand side will show your total account size. So for example, let's say you have $10,000. Tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to make between a 4 and a 6% monthly gain. You can compound that, but let's just say you're generating an extra 6% a month. Okay. If you add money to your trading account, this calculator will help you understand how to do that or what it looks like. So it's not uncommon for an investor to add like an extra $200 a month to their trading account if they have a smaller account. Usually someone who has, more money, they typically won't add. So if you have like $100,000, $200,000, typically you don't add to your account. You just let it compound if you want it to grow. Now, let me show you how this works. So this is a $10,000 account growing at 6% a month. You're adding $200 a month. Let me show you how to read this. Number 1, month 1, you have $10,000. You make 6%. You make $600 for that particular month. You add an extra $200 because that's what you deposited. You now have an $800 cash growth for that particular month. Month 2, you have $10,800. Okay? You make your 6%, now you generate $648 for that particular month, and so on and so forth. On the right-hand side will show a breakdown of the year's performance. So the first year, having a $10,000 account, generating 6% a month, compounding, and adding $200 a month to it, you will make $13,495.95 of cash growth. But you put in $2,400 of your own money. And so what happens? Let's subtract that. You made $11,095.95 for that particular year of profit. Year 2, you make $24,000. Year 3, you make $52,000. Year 4, you make $107,000. So let me ask this question. For those of you in this room, would you be happy strategically compounding and reinvesting, taking a $10,000 trading account, and then within 4 years have it producing over $100,000 a year worth of income? Some of you may want more money than that. Some of you may say, well, I want more. Some of you say, well, I want less. Change your percent gain. Play around with this. If you can go 8% and you can see how the growth affects you. An 8% monthly gain, which is very, very hard to do, by the way, it's about $117,000 worth of income within 3 years. Play around with this. Now, one of the things which I do is I help traders all around the world to obtain their end goal in mind, which is results. We understand that there's challenges that everybody faces, and you're learning the skill to make money, but the money is going to help you for retirement, for your family, to improve your lifestyle, to get out of debt, or even for rainy days or unexpected events. Now, I've worked with investors who know absolutely nothing about the Forex market. They come to me with no trading experience, like she from California. Started in February 2017. Within 4 months, made $30,000 US. Does not have to go back to work and is now on his way to generating $150,000 this year. Type in me, M-E, if you'd be happy making an extra $30,000 in the next 4 months. Well, what about Daniel? Daniel is from Georgia. He's a full-time trader. He came to me with 6 months of trading experience from other companies, but with 0 money results. He started with MTI in March, and within 15 weeks, he made over 76,000 pips. And within a 30 trading day period, he's now making over $10,000 a month. How many of you would be happy within, that was March, within 5 months learning the skill to make over $10,000 US a month? By the way, Daniel was laid off from his job, but he's okay because he's making over $10,000 a month trading. What about Ernest? Now, Ernest is from Norway. Now, I actually interviewed Ernest. Ernest is like he lives in a small town, and we were talking with them, and he's like the only Forex trader in his town. He makes over $10,000 a month now. And he invests his money into vacations. This is Gerard. Gerard's from North Carolina. He's an engineer. He spent an entire year, because he's an engineer, that's how, if you ever met an engineer, they know they're very detailed. He went an entire year going through the education, did not place one single trade. When he was ready, in 3 months, he made $24,500 US. I actually spoke with him this month inside of a webinar. He told me that he's already made over $10,000 this month, and he's on his way to making over $20,000. Rick W. has less than a year of experience. He spent his career in manufacturing software. He needed a change, and now he's making over $5,000 a month. That's a $60,000 a year income. Here's Saul. He's a rabbi from New York. The purpose of going through all these testimonials is to share with you that these are ordinary individuals. These are people. Some are blue collar, some are engineers, some are rabbis, some are teachers, some are just normal individuals who have come to me, learned a life skill, utilized these tools, and now are making right around $10,000+ a month. Month after month after month, utilizing the internet, utilizing basic formulas, and generating the returns in which they want. Type in me, M-E, if you're in this room and you're kind of like, I want to do that. Now, the reason why so many investors turn to me is very simple. It's because of this. I am a very successful investor. Matter of fact, and I'm on my 20th month of consecutive gains. Here are my results. I've spent 20 months generating month after month after month returns. I made 38,000 pips in the year 2016. I am up over 10,000 pips this year. In the last 20 months, I've generated 48,800 pips, and I win over 70% of my trades. Type in me, M-E, into the question section box if you're kind of like, Josh, if I'm going to do this, I want month after month after month returns. I'm not here to try to make money this month and then lose it next month. I want month after month after month returns. Now, as you know, there is a learning curve to this, but there is a very cost-efficient and very cost-effective way to focus in on the end goal of mine. Now, I only do this with investors who begin to participate with me, but what I have is what's called a trade copier. And a trade copier is probably one of the most unique avenues for an individual to be able to help them generate a return as they're learning. Now, many individuals just like to use this by itself. Why? Well, my name is Joshua Martinez, and I'm a really, really great trader. I have a trade copier which allows investors to automatically duplicate my trades. What that means is literally it's intended to automatically follow what I'm doing. This means if I make 2,000 pips in a month, that means you will make 2,000 pips automatically. Literally, you will have a trading account and you will connect your trading account to my trade copier, which is connected to me. And when I place a trade in real time, it will automatically duplicate that same order in your account. To where if I win, you win. If I lose, you lose. Type in me, M-E, if you think that is probably one of the most amazing things that is available. Why? Well, the reason why it's so incredible is because you're benefiting from the end goal in mind, which is returns. And you don't have to go through all the work like I did. And as you're learning and you're educating yourself and you're learning how to make money, the trade copier can help you. As long as I hit my numbers, it can help you get a return on your investment. Now, Typically, a trade copier, which will give you access to the same trades that I placed, that will give you quick start training guides, and you'll get access to a client success team. Typically, in the industry, you're going to be paying like right around $2,000 just for an initiation or startup fee, and then a $500+ monthly thing. That's not what I do. My biggest thing is I'm here to serve investors, and I'm here to help the masses. And so one of the things which we do is we make it extremely affordable. And so if you would like to participate in my trade copier and be able to benefit from the end goal of mine, which is returns, we charge $199 a month. It's a month-to-month subscription, and you can cancel anytime. What is my average? In the last 20 months, I've made over 48,000 pips. I average over 2,000 pips a month. So in theory, if you were to do this, what could you make in return? You would pay $200 for the month if you traded a mini lot, which is $1 a pip. Then if I make 2,000 pips, then you made $2,000. Type in ME into the question section box if you think investing $200 to be able to make $2,000 within the same month is a good return on your investment. Matter of fact, it's probably one of the most incredible returns on your investments in which you will ever have access to. Because where else can you do anything like that outside of starting your own business and having an incredible or crazy capital risk? My drawdown for this year since February 13, by the way, is less than 5%. And so what I'm going to be doing for everyone in this room is I'm going to give you an opportunity to where you can get started with a really, really great rate. You're going to buy 1 month, you get 1 month free. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. What I want to do is give you a link in the question section box. This link I'm sending to you in the question section box will give you direct access to the sign-up page, which I'll walk you through in just a moment. If you use this link, and if you're watching this recording at home, you can use this link to get direct access. You can also log into your 10K Insiders membership, and if you log into your 10K Insiders membership, at the bottom of the page, you will see Josh's Trade Copier. You will see exclusive access to Josh's Trade Copier, which will give you this special. So you click on that link. It will bring you directly to this page where I have a video that kind of outlines the performance. It's $199, and you get 2 months, and then it goes month to month. You can cancel anytime. You can get started right now. You can all you have to do is fill out your payment information, first name, last name, address, city, state, etc. You can get started with American Express, Discover, Visa, or MasterCard, and you can get it right now for $199. Now, this will not be made available forever, and we're running this special for you guys in regards to the 5 for 5 indicators. It's just our way to give back to you. Now, we have investors who are making a tremendous amount of returns off this. Giving you an example. If you would have done this the beginning of this month, you would be up 901 pips right now. This is my track record. This was updated 7 minutes ago. If you did this starting this month, you'd be up 900 pips. If you were trading $1 a pip, that means you'd be currently positive $900. You would have already made your money back, and you're in the profit. Now, this is going to be an online opportunity, so here's the link in the question section box. And what I want to do is just go ahead and ask the question in the room, who plans on signing up? Type in ME, M-E, into the question section box if you're going to sign up to this. Well, I want to go ahead and say thank you to Peter. I want to congratulate Yvette and Zane and WAS and Raymond. Mary, Val says, I've already signed up. Beautiful. Guy says, I'm already in. Beautiful. Georgie's, Lee's, Rosalind says, I'm already in. Beautiful. SIL. Richard says, I have it and I love it. Perfect. Now listen, the biggest thing is this. The big questions which we received on the sign-on process is, hey, what happens when I sign up? Very simple. Once you sign up, you're going to be taken to a how-to page where it's going to walk you through video tutorials of how to connect your trading account to the trade copier. And this is a connect, set, and forget style of investing. What that basically means across the board is this. If you are to do this, it will all be automatic. You don't have to have your computer on. It's all cloud-based. You don't have to have your internet connected. If your power goes out or if you're on vacation or you're sleeping, it will all work as long as you give it access. This is something in which you can do. Many investors are doing. Matter of fact, I have over 3,000 traders utilizing this as we speak, and which means over 3,000 traders have already made over 900 pips this month. We're signing on. This is very, very popular. The reason why is you're not paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It's $200 a month. In regards to, and $200 is a lot of money to a lot of people, and we understand that. But in regards to investment, return on investment, even if you just trade one micro lot, as long as I hit my numbers, it pays for itself. If you trade with 2 micro lots, which is a $40 investment, that means that each pip's on average 20 cents. As long as I hit my numbers, it's making money. And so the neat thing about consistency is I'm on my 20th month of net gains. And so, hey everyone, I want to say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to work with you. We take great pride in what we do here at Market Traders Institute. You can use the link that I sent you, or you can log into your 10K Insiders, and you can click on the Josh's Trade Copier. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about equity management. We're going to talk about exits, which are stops and limits, and then we're also going to be talking about aside the 10K. We're also going to be discussing the formula a little bit more in detail. Hey everyone, have a wonderful day. We're going to upload this, make it available to you right away. And on that note, every day, helping traders find a way. It's Joshua Martinez out.